Many companies today invest heavily in their applications, from internal facing CRM, ERP tools to external facing consumer applications. So here's the catch. Very often all these customer user struggles go unnoticed. So for example, in this case, if I go into an invoice, so after some partial payment has been made and then the user wants to send a copy to their email, so they get a 500 error here. They try again, you get another 500 error, and then you try to download the PDF, you get a 404. So some users, once they experience this, they just abandon the entire process, they just give up, and then some may not come back anymore. So how do we then identify these challenges and friction to user experience, sieve them out, take actions to remediate them to ensure that all these users convert to perform the task that is intended to be done? So enter TrueWatch. This is a custom user experience dashboard that we have created to monitor user experience. So we can see at one glance over the past 7 days, the experience score is 66.67% across 27 active sessions. So this experience score is calculated based on the second row, the core web vitals, we call it, like the LCP, FID, and CLS. So we can see that the LCP here exceeds the threshold of 2.5 seconds at this time frame, right? So all these exceeds, they count to the deduction or reduction of the experience score. So there's some calculations that go around it. So if you go further down, you can see that we also track non-200 API responses. You can see that 500 errors is attributed to the invoice read path, right? So in 7 counts of it. So I can deep dive further into the details to analyze the error. I can see there's quite a number of them experienced by this user here. So I can go into the session and I can play back at which point in time the user experienced this error. So you can see the 500 error that I experienced earlier. And then later on you can see where the user goes next, right? And you can also see where the user navigated to before experiencing this error. So you can track this user's user experience from this session replay here. So in this case, you can analyze from this user's experience. If it's legit, you can reach out to the user, take actions to do service recovery and whatnot. Okay, so this is on the actions that you can do from this non-200 API responses. Next, we move on to API response duration. I can see the various API paths and its respective latency response duration. This is the 75th percentile, so I can analyze my API performance here as well. On the right, I can see at a single glance across the different API paths, which are the ones that warrant my attention. So this exceeds the LCP of 2.5 seconds, it flags out. Non-200 responses is flags out, so I can deep dive further to address all these issues before more users complain, right? That impacts my user experience, and then they drop off, they don't just don't convert, and all this leads to business impact. If I scroll down slightly further, I can see these are some of the so-called business transactions that I want to track and monitor. So I can see over the past 7 days, 6 invoices have been created and 7 payments have been submitted. So I can see the funnel chart. This simulates the user journey, like their drop-offs. So I can see an invoice list, there's quite a number of them, and then not many make payments. So I want to analyze further, why is that so? So I can do this via RUM. So there's this user analysis part where I can go into funnels and I can save funnels and I can analyze them here. So I can see over the past 7 days, let's say for example there's 10 sessions here and then only 6 click into pay. So why is that so? I can analyze this session replays to see why did the user not make payment after going to the page, and then tweak my product or my campaign accordingly to make sure that these users make payment, to find out some friction points, right? So I can analyze the usage here across these sessions. Same, I also can track based on the user that is performing all these actions, right? So these are some user analysis tools and features that TrueWatch has. We also have heat maps. So for instance, over the past 1 day, I can generate a heat map for each of the web pages or mobile apps as well, to see where most of the users click or where they do not click. So this is to optimize the real estate space from a product design standpoint, to make sure that the product features are understood by the users and visible, and make sure that they use it effectively. If they do not, we want to find out why and make changes to the product design to optimize it user conversion. So that translates to business value as well. So in summary, this is how TrueWatch can help you to provide insights on your user behavior, so that with this information you can make better business and design decisions.